everyone! It's that time of year again. It's time to start thinking about which notebook to use for your next bullet journal. I'll be looking at 4 different notebook brands that I'm considering for my 2021 journal. I'll talk you through the main features and do some pen tests. I currently use an Archer and Olive journal. They have beautiful journals and I've really enjoyed using it this year. They have a good selection of linen covers to choose from and fresh white pages and 160 GSM paper, so I never need to worry about ghosting or bleeding through the pages. They also have a back pocket to store things and 2 page markers. For next year though, I thought it'd be nice to try something new. I came across some great brands in my search over the last few months and I'm really excited to share them with you. The first journal I'm going to talk about is the Inkpot Journal, which is a UK-based company. It's an A5 hardcover notebook that comes in 9 different colours. It's the same dimensions as the Archer and Olive journal and it has 176 pages. The covers are linen and you can actually choose from a selection of images to have on the front. You can choose whether you want it in gold, silver, copper, white or black. And you can even choose to have an acronym or small word instead. You can also personalise it with your initials in the bottom right corner. It has an elastic closure to secure the notebook and 1 page marker. There's space for you to write your name and contact details if you lose it, and then it goes straight into the dot grid pages. The journal lies flat and has crisp white pages. There aren't any page numbers and the dots are grey and clearly visible. At the back there's an envelope for paper or stickers. The paper is 160 GSM, so I don't expect to see any ghosting or bleeding from the pen test. I'm trying out some fine liners, a Tombow Fudenosuke pen, a Tombow brush pen, a Sharpie, gel pens, fountain pen, which I just filled up with ink and unfortunately splashed all over the page, an acrylograph paint pen, and finally I'm testing how the page responds to water. The Sharpie is the only pen that really showed up behind the page, but I've never found a notebook that can handle a Sharpie, so this held up pretty well. There isn't any wrinkling or warping from the water, and no feathering around the fountain pen. The next notebook I'm looking at is the Scribble and Dot. It's an A5 dotted journal with a pretty strong and sturdy hardcover. The covers are very pretty and come in 5 different colours and designs. It's the same size as the Archer and Olive and the Inkpot journals. There's a pen holder, an elastic enclosure, and then a page for your name and the date that you're starting your journal. The pages feel very soft, almost silky. There's a page for a key and 3 pages to write up an index. It lies very flat and the dots are very light grey, just about visible. The pages are a nice ivory colour and the pages are also numbered. There are 2 page markers and a pocket at the back. The pages are again 160 GSM and there's a useful dedicated space for pen tests. The pens write really smoothly and there's no feathering from the fountain pen. The pens are barely visible from behind, with the Sharpie showing up more as expected. It shows up just a touch more than on the Inkpot and Archer and Olive, but not significantly. The paper held up pretty well with water. There's a tiny bit of wrinkling where I've applied the water. Up next we have the dotted Barron Fig Confident notebook. It's a cloth-bound hardcover notebook that comes in 6 different colours. This is the flagship size, which is smaller than the journals we've looked at so far. It's a great size to throw into your bag to take around with you. There isn't an elastic band with this one, and it has 1 page marker. It lies flat and the dots are light grey and quite thick. The pages are an off-white colour and there aren't any page numbers. The pages are 90 GSM, which is much thinner than the ones we've looked at so far. The pages at the back are perforated, so you can rip them out if you want to. There isn't any feathering when writing, and I noticed that the dots are quite visible through the pens, especially the coloured Tombow brush pen. The pens are visible from behind because the paper is much thinner, but surprisingly they don't show up too much considering how thin the paper is, excluding the Sharpie of course. The paper also held up pretty well with water on it. Finally, we have the Maisie Lane A5 dot grid journal. These have beautiful vegan leather covers that feel really luxurious. You can have some text printed on the front in white or matte gold, and there are some beautiful fonts to choose from too. There are 5 elegant colour options and a gold foil doodle on the spine, which makes the journal feel really unique. It's the same size as the Archer and Olive and Inkpot journals, except it has 192 pages. It has a matching elastic band to hold it together, and the front page says, "This journal is loved by," which I really like. The journal lays flat, even more so than the others did, and the pages are pure white. There aren't any page numbers. There are 2 page markers and a pocket at the back. The pages are 160 GSM. The pens write really smoothly on the page, including the fountain pen, which I really enjoyed, and they show up very well. They didn't show up behind the page, and even the Sharpie was quite faint too. The paper responded very well to water. I didn't notice any wrinkling or warping. Finally, I had a quick look to see if my Archer and Olive craft notepad paper would fit into these notebooks, because I like that when I use this notepad paper, I don't have to do much trimming for it to fit well. The notepad fit pretty well in the Maisie Lane journal, the Scribble and Dot and the Inkpot journal, in the same way it fits in the Archer and Olive journal itself, which is with a little gap on the inside. The curved edges fit perfectly, so you wouldn't need to trim them at all. I hope this video helped you think about which notebook you might want to go for and some of the great options out there. Let me know which one's your favourite in the comments down below. I honestly loved all of these notebooks and I'm weighing up my options, but but at the moment I think it's likely that I'm going to go for the beautiful Maisie Lane notebook as my main bullet journal next year. I've put together a comparison table with more detail about the notebooks in my blog post, which you can find on my website, and I've linked it in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.